You could throw boom at the same time. As he punches, boom, he go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you go.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that.
Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways.
Mike Tyson has finally spoken out after stepping into the gym with Gervonta "Tank" Davis ahead of his explosive showdown with Jake Paul. And the boxing world can't stop talking. Tyson's been watching Tank train up close, and his reaction says it all. Davis looks terrifying, bulked up, shredded, and ready to destroy. With thicker arms, a chiseled upper body, and lightning speed still intact, Tank's new form screams one thing. He's taking this fight dead serious.
You can't really tell, but when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out there. And I think that is the idea for him to bulk up and be a little powerhouse out there. And I'm all for it. I'm gonna tell you in this video why I think that's the best thing for Tank and why I think he will be knocking on 160 pounds. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys another workout of mine. Let me be absolutely clear with this, all right? I'm not trying to say that I'm a great fighter. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. We all know, Lord knows, that all you guys in the comments are Olympic gold medalists. You guys are fantastic fighters, and I can't come close to the level of great technique and great fighting that you are. I'm just working out, all right? And I was definitely trying to hit the bag as hard as I can. I was really working on my hooks more than anything. Now listen, I know that I'm trash, all right? So, you know, just look at it and be like, okay, Showbiz trash or whatever. Or if you want to be inspired and you're on a journey like I am, I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to not look like I'm 45 out here, all right? Other than the gray and the beard, all right? If you get inspired, please let me know in the comments. Other than that, all you Olympic gold medalists out there, I'm nowhere on your level, all right? But if you want to see it, it's going to be at the end of this video. Now, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Listen, the reason why I think he will be knocking on 160 pounds is because I think that's his walking around weight. And I have receipts for all this shit. You guys remember, what, 4 or 5 years ago where he missed weight against Gamboa?
Tyson's even admitted he's leaning toward Tank in the upcoming fight, and it all comes down to pure punching talent. After training with Davis, Tyson said he was blown away by Tank's power, precision, and that signature snap in every punch. That's real old-school knockout force, Tyson reportedly said. While he praised Jake Paul's discipline, he believes Tank's instincts and ring IQ make the difference. On ESPN, Stephen A. Smith agreed, saying Tank must go for the knockout, not the judges. Tyson nodded, warning that close fights can slip away. He even said Davis reminds him of a young Iron Mike, focused, ruthless, and built for destruction.
Be the pick against Davis. What are your thoughts about this upcoming fight?
See, I kind of lean towards Davis a little because of his style of fighting and what makes him different than most fighters that I once did is when he punches, he catapults himself in the air. And normally in the air, you're out of position, have no leverage. But for some reason, myself and Mr. Davis, our best point is when we're leaping in the air. Like being catapulted to punch up, because he's not much of a guy that punches down, as we saw with Pitbull Cruz. So what's his name? Pitbull Cruz gave him his hardest fight, but he was a very aggressive guy, not like Ryan.
Yeah, you talk about Isaac Cruz. Definitely, he gave it an aggressive fight.
Yes.
But I thought that particular fight, Gervonta showed me boxing skills that I didn't even realize he had, because because, Pitbull comes at you and he's very good defensively, so he covers himself well. But I thought Gervonta did a great job boxing in that particular fight. But here's what I think. I think this is the kind of fight Gervonta Davis is going to have to get the knockout because Ryan Garcia is taller. Obviously, he's fighting at a catch weight with that dehydration clause and all of this stuff, but he's longer, he's taller, he's got a jab, he uses it to avoid that power that Gervonta Davis is going to give him. He wins the fight. I think the only way for Gervonta to beat him is to knock him out. To that you say what?
I believe he can beat him if it goes the distance as well.
You think Gervonta can beat him if he goes the distance?
He's going to win the fight, yes.
So you got him winning this fight?
Yes, I do.
Jake Paul's business partner, Nikisa Badarian, admits Jake's got the advantage in size and strength, but says Davis holds the edge where it truly counts: experience. He pointed out that Tank's lived and breathed boxing since childhood, mastering timing, distance, and power at the highest level. Jake's bigger, but Tank's instincts are on another planet, Badarian said. No matter how much Jake trains, he can't buy experience, and that's what makes Davis so dangerous.
Z and Gen Alpha, they are the two biggest boxers in America, and they're putting it all on the line. One has the speed, the skill, the accuracy, and the one-punch knockout power. The other has the size, the force, and the unbreakable confidence to make this must-see Netflix. The size difference is obvious, but so is the skill and experience difference. One man has been doing this for 23 years, since the age of 7. The other picked up the sport 5 years ago and has virtually no amateur experience. So the size difference is what makes this plausible. The king of the jungle here is Tank Davis. He is the lion, taking on the young elephant that is Jake Paul. The lion is looking at me like he's about to eat me. The lion is fast, he's fierce, and he's fatal when he strikes. But the young elephant is big, powerful, and hard to knock down. And come Friday, November 14th, the jungle will be set in tropical Miami, Florida, and the world will be watching live on Netflix globally to see who the victor will be. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a victor, because the fighters have agreed and the commission has approved a maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves.
Badarian also brushed off the size debate, insisting that weight won't save Jake Paul against a fighter like Davis. He revealed that this fight wasn't random. It's been years in the making, ever since a possible Jake versus Canelo Alvarez match fell through. When that deal collapsed, Tank was next in line. According to Badarian, Davis wanted this fight for a long time. Jake and Tank was always the plan, he said, and now it's finally happening.
Jake and Tank are gonna happen November 14th.
Whatever weight they want, man, they're talking about it, and whatever it is, there's gonna be a definitive outcome. People can talk about pro exhibition. We're gonna make sure this is as real as it's real.
Why was it, just out of curiosity, why is it not a professional bout and why is it an exhibition? Because I'm sure Jake would have taken the professional bout.
Nothing's been communicated as yet in terms of what it is, right? Similar to, if you remember, with Paul Tyson, when we announced it, we didn't have the weight, we didn't have the rules, particularly in terms of the number of rounds, the minutes, the gloves. It's gonna be the same thing here.
Gotcha. Can you just offer us any insight as to how these negotiations were? And the reason I ask is because I remember back in March, I was at Tank's fight, and after his fight, in his press conference, he was asked, next opponent. He said, well, my next opponent might have been in my locker room tonight. And people asked him, was it Jake? He made reference, he made allusion to. Has this been an ongoing thing? And has it ever, been at a point where it wasn't gonna happen and came back, or was this always the plan?
Always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once Canelo didn't have to. And to Tank's credit, he's a real bad dude, and he's been calling out Jake for 3 years. And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big, and for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. Now you get to see if that's real.
Still, not everyone's convinced. Former champ Carl Froch warned that Jake Paul's size and raw power could pose real danger. Tank's never been hit by someone that big, Froch cautioned. Many in the boxing world share his worry, seeing this less as a fair fight and more as a risky spectacle where safety and legitimacy are on the line.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think, but the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode, but hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in, and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share, and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
Ryan Garcia didn't hold back either, blasting the fight as insane and claiming it makes boxing look like a circus. He argued the sport's losing its integrity, comparing it to WWE. In his words, boxing's officially become the WWE. Garcia believes fights like this make it harder for fans to take boxing seriously anymore.
Today we're going to talk about the boxing world and another fight that Jake Paul just booked for his joke of a career against a 65-plus smaller guy than him in Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul is a circus sideshow for low IQ incels. Nobody should be falling for this carny bullshit about him being a real fighter. Gervonta is a million times better than him, so he has to handicap Gervonta's skill by being a giant lab rat with a 65-plus weight advantage over him. This is a joke. This is a mockery to the sport of fighting. You know, the best are supposed to fight the best. Why is he fighting a guy that's, you know, in his last fight, Mike Tyson, who, you know, he's got a 40-year age gap between them? You know, why are you fighting a guy that should be in line for, you know, the early bird special, not fighting in a boxing ring? And Mike Tyson, now you're fighting a guy who is, you know, tiny. He's a 130-pound fighter. You fight in the 210, 220 weight range. So, you know, this is another joke in Jake Paul's career. You know, he claims to want to be a real fighter, but, you know, he's not taking the real steps to be real fighters and fighting, you know, top 10 guys and fighting the best guys in the world. You know, he fights, you know, these circus sideshows against guys that have no business being in there against him. So, you know, I guess this is the state of boxing. It's dead. UFC took over, and, you know, this is what you get now. You get this YouTuber who, you know, is on Lizzie McGuire, and he wants to claim to be a real fighter, but he doesn't want to fight real fighters. So, you know, I think it's ironic, though. Why would he hire a lawyer to sue people that say that his fights are fixed if they weren't, allegedly? So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You guys do the math. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Promoter Eddie Hearn echoed that warning, telling Jake Paul to be careful what you wish for. He called the matchup dangerous and said Jake risks far more than just his record. While Hearn admitted the fight is a huge commercial win, he stressed it could end brutally for Jake. This isn't just about money, he warned. It's about survival.
We know that Gervonta is going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens if there's an AJ fight. Be interested to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua, but I don't think the Chavez fight is terrible. I think it's a smart bit of business.
But Jake Paul isn't backing down. He's doubled down, promising to deliver the knockout of the year when he meets Gervonta Davis. This isn't just another fight for Jake. It's his chance to silence critics and create a highlight that dominates boxing history. For him, this is about legacy, power, and proving he's not just a YouTuber. He's a fighter who belongs in the spotlight.
Fighters, because this thing is going to be watched by hundreds of millions globally. Jay, give the people one thing that you can guarantee that they're going to get on November 14th when they tune in to Netflix.
Yeah, you're going to see the two biggest fighters in America go head-to-head with an amazing card. World championship fights back-to-back-to-back. And that's just how the MVP way we do it. And I'm going to come for a knockout of the year again. I've seen it in my visions. I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and going to create the most viral knockout ever.
Some fans, though, accuse Davis of chasing the money instead of the challenge. They say he's ducking elite names like Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez just for a payday. But supporters argue that's unfair. Tank's undefeated, a multi-division champion, and has beaten top-tier opponents for years. They insist calling him a ducker disrespects everything he's already accomplished inside the ring.
We wasn't gonna ever fight no Shakur Stevenson, no Keyshawn Davis, no Teofimo Lopez, no none of them dudes. You know what I'm talking about? We gotta think and look at Tank Davis's whole career. He done made some bread, but at the end of the day, all that bread that he made, when it's all said and done, he ain't gonna get no respect from his peers, because we gonna look down his resume and we gonna be like, he was trash, he was some trash, he was some trash, he was alright, but he was never like that. He was okay. He was some trash, he was some trash, he ain't did nothing. Hey, that's just what it's gonna be at the end of the day. Get mad, a moment of silence for all of the Gervonta Tank Davis meat bushes that's biting blood out their bottom right now. Hold on, let's have a moment of silence. Everybody, bite blood out your bottom. Hey, don't get mad, but you can't do nothing. Y'all can't do nothing about it.
Critics, however, say this fight proves boxing's becoming more about spectacle than sport. With the size gap and nonstop hype, they call it a money grab, one that risks turning boxing into pure entertainment. Some even claim the sport's losing its soul, trading skill and legacy for clicks and cash. Boxing's not about greatness anymore, they argue. It's about views.
Like the internet, when we give it to you straight, no chase. In sports, Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul have a fight coming up. I ain't even gonna call it a fight, because it ain't. If Jake Paul's involved in it, it's a great acting job. You know Mike Tyson could have just knocked Jake Paul's mother face into the canvas, but he got paid to pull punches, otherwise he wouldn't have got paid. Pretty sure the same is going for Gervonta Davis. It's a quick money grab. Yeah, most of y'all gonna be suckers who tune in. It's just a quick money grab. That's all I'm saying. Ain't gonna be no fight. I don't give a fuck how big Jake Paul is. He can't take one of them little mother tank punches. And tank move furniture. Move furniture. Catch that motherfucking move furniture. And Jake don't like his furniture moved, so he gonna pay him not to hit him again. If you really want to show out Gervonta, sign a contract that you ain't gonna hit him, because if you hit him, you lose all the money. And then whoop that motherfucker's ass, put him to sleep, and get him out the boxing game once and for all.
But what do you think? Is Gervonta Davis chasing the money or proving he can dominate anyone who steps in his way, even Jake Paul? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's hear your take on the fight everyone's talking about.